working on releasing a book of poetry that I had written in the last year, and it is called A Year-Long Journey, and this is just a proof copy, and there are changes still to it, but because of that, I wanted to read something from one of the past shows, which I'm sure a lot of you probably haven't heard unless you were at ChiCon and happened to go to the Palmer House and hear me reading things about Star Trek. But this one's the least Star Trek related. This one is called Kinds of Interference.
Okay, well, I guess I suppose.
Watched an episode of Star Trek recently where the Borg first transported onto the bridge of the starship Enterprise, and Jean-Luc Picard was then abducted, transported to their cubicle Borg ship. And as soon as they realized that Captain Picard was taken, Commander Riker talked through his little comm badge to Chief O'Brien and asked, "O'Brien, can you beam him back?" And Miles O'Brien responded that he can't, that there is some kind of interference. All O'Brien says, this man who transports people for a living, is that there's some kind of interference. I wonder if it's the kind of interference, like when you tell a friend about somebody you started dating, and at your own party they leave to make out with your date. I wonder if it's the kind of interference, like when the one you love calls you and tells you they're getting on an airplane on the other side of the planet, but their connecting flight has just been canceled. So, you won't see them soon, and by the way, this phone call to you is costing $2 a minute from the other side of the world. That's what you get for getting your hopes up. I wonder if it's the kind of interference like when a week before you're supposed to stand up at a wedding, your significant other tells you that they want to break up. But they understand that you're a part of someone else's wedding. They'll tag along, act like your date so that they won't cause any waves for you. I wonder if it's the kind of interference like when you're driving to see your parents and while stopped in an intersection, you see a car speeding toward your stopped car, so you turn your car wheels so the crash won't kill the motorcyclist in front of you. And what they do drops you into a coma for weeks, when at the hospital they put a tube down your throat to breathe for you. That kind of interference. I wonder if it's the kind of interference when you're finally off on your own and you feel like you can trust people and someone gets you drunk enough to not fight back when they sexually get off on you. And you later hear of rape rooms in fraternity basements that are rooms with floors literally covered with dingy, semen-stained mattresses, in case the girl falls down as soon as they enter the room. That kind of interference. I wonder if it's the kind of interference you get after you questioned your gender preferences, started relationships with a few until one of them, from a one-night stand, gave you the human immunodeficiency virus. And after you contracted full-blown AIDS, you'd cocktail your way through the world with anything other than liquor, wondering how long you'd live, wondering if you'd ever have and raise kids. That kind of interference. But often when you hear them say on Star Trek that there's some kind of interference, they continue by saying, "I don't have a positive lock on the away team." Which makes me think of the times when you want to find the one you love, and some kind of interference keeps you away from your chances of finding your one true love.